if I would need, can need.
It's aggravating because we don't look
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
My name is Gracie Durham, and on behalf of the Patterson High School Beta Club, we are seeking your approval to host handshakes on the following dates: March 29th, April 26th, May 8th, May 17th, and June 14th. Our club recently achieved a remarkable accomplishment, placing in the top 5 at the state level in 3 categories. As a result, we have earned the opportunity to travel to Orlando in June to compete at the National Beta Convention and participate in the Disney Leadership Program. We are incredibly proud to represent Patterson High School and the City of Patterson at this prestigious event. With your support, we hope to raise the necessary funds to ensure our students can attend and make our community proud. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Give me the dates one more time, please.
That's March 29th, April 26th, May 17th, and June
The
14th.
17th may be a problem. That
Okay.
isn't that graduation weekend.
Oh, yes, yes.
And I know Project Graduation has asked to be in the park from noon, and they're going to block off
Yes.
the highway. So I think the 17th right now, unless I hear different from the Project Graduation, I think that day is kind of tight.
Yes, sir.
If y'all can call back with another date.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Would you be on that?
Yes, sir, on Catherine Street.
But it's early during the daytime, that Project Graduation.
It takes a lot of hard work to do what you do, and it's congratulations on that, because it's not easy. They think, oh, Beta Club is a club. It's just kudos to y'all for that.
Thank you.
So, congrats.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank
Council?
you.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Okay, approved.
She would like to speak also.
Hello, my name is Emily Everett, and on behalf of the Patterson High School Beta Club and Student Council, we are requesting approval to host a back-to-school color run on August 16th with a rain-out date of August 23rd. This event will help us raise funds to support our participation in the State Beta Convention, where we hope to build on our recent success by competing in and winning more categories. Additionally, the funds will support our school and community service projects throughout the year. We are dedicated to representing Patterson High School and the City of Patterson with pride, and we appreciate your consideration of our request. Thank you.
Now, your color run will start where?
We're hoping to start from the high school, and we're not exactly sure yet where it would end, but we're open to suggestions.
What's the rain-out date?
August 23rd.
And the reason I ask because if you start at the high school, you're in the unincorporated area, which is the sheriff department. So we would have to get with them, and then when we come into the city, well, then that's where you would get with chief for the route. You know, is it a 3K, 5K?
5K.
5K. Okay. All right. I'll let chief know, but I also have him get in contact with the sheriff department.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for putting in the work to make what y'all do possible.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Monica?
Good afternoon, everyone. Last week I emailed y'all the income statements. They're also in y'all packets. Is there any questions? I did go ahead and put, if you look at that second column, that's the budgeted numbers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Dewey, further discussion on the community center?
Yes, as Ms. Sandra Turner mentioned, Councilwoman Miranda Weinbach and myself visited with the community center, the workers and members of the board, of that board, and we came to some conclusions where we can find common ground to maybe run the community center at least another good year with the city assistance. We did, and it was recommended, let me say this first, by our I would say the auditors recommended that we do a 2% cut from culture and recreation, which was a possibility of almost $19,545.56. The community center's budget was $90,800, I think it was, for last year. And the new budget, we're going to give the community center $70,000. Okay, we also looked at ways to get the community center self-sufficient. There are some ways that they're going to get out and do more activities that's discussing, and that's why I said we're going to give them another opportunity, at least a year, to become self-sufficient. Not a year to be self-sufficient, but working their way towards becoming self-sufficient. We found a lot of discrepancies as far as equipment that's the city's being charged for, but not being utilized by the community center. So we're getting that out. So we found another savings of approximately $5,000. So with the community center, the savings of the $20,000 that the city would not put towards the budget and the continued another savings of $5,000, we think that we can start there, and we're going to revisit with them again in 6 months. We're just going to monitor things. They're going to get ways out to pick up more revenue to become self-sufficient. So a lot of the city constituents, the last two meetings, were concerned about the closure of the community center. We're not there yet. We're not there. I'm not going to say yet. We're not there, and I think we're going to get to the point where the community center can be self-sufficient. And we just asking the public, just know that we are here and we're open for business at the community center. And we're looking for support, and if you want to rent the place out for an event, they're open, the ladies are there. We're not cutting any salaries or anything like that. And I just want to commend the two ladies that are there, because another thing that we learned is that those ladies working and not getting paid for the work that they're doing. So, they go out and lock, unlock, clean after hours, and they're not getting paid for that. So we need to commend them on that as well. And they're doing a great job, so we're going to give them the chance. Even though our city funds looking a little funny, we did do what was required of us by the auditors, and we think we can still function at the capacity that the community center was functioning, but less than the city's giving $20,000 less.
Can I say
Sure.
something? And also, open line of communication, like we were talking about last time. Just rapport, just conversation, and we were talking about a couple of different ideas to fundraise to keep the community involved in it, because this is our home, and we're not friends in here, we're family. Patterson is a family. There's no other place like it, and if we all work together and do stuff that's fun, bring things in. Oh, I remember when we did this at this age, or when I was at this grade, and there's so many memories in that place. We can bring new life into it and also benefit the community center. So there's going to be some ideas coming up. We're going to be talking, we're brainstorming. Miranda and I was talking with Ray about it. Things are going to work out. It's going to be a group effort, but we're going to get it done.
And again, I think if we allow the community center to shut down, then we'd be working on looking for money to demolish it, because it'll just go there and mildew or take over and whatever. So we got to give it a chance. The city needs to give back. I mean, we're not going to cut back from whatever, beanie basketball, whatever. We got to give something. So
They gave it to us growing
yeah,
up. So we
you know,
have to
if we just let it sit there, it's just going to go bad, and then we'd be looking at ways to try to demolish it, and that'd be some more expenses. But we're going to try to build it back up and make it bigger and better than what it is now.
Can I ask those of you that worked on it, there was two things that were brought to my attention by Monica. One, will the Head Start, will that decrease the 70, or is that from the 90, with them paying their utilities?
That would decrease in the extra 5,000.
Okay.
That we're speaking of.
So that's included. So
Yeah, that's in that extra
That's included
5,000.
the 25,000 that
Okay,
we.
all right. And then also, we learned that there's some, as you alluded to, there is some equipment that's being charged on the community center that's not for the community center, but another program that need to be taken off.
Yeah.
So,
That again is in the possible of the $5,000 savings.
Okay.
Now, we don't want to inflate it.
No, I'm
but
just asking.
I think it's going to be more savings, but I just didn't want to inflate it comparing the numbers that we have now. So I think it'll be an additional $5,000 in savings and expenditures.
yeah, that's what because Monica and I had talked about it, and there was two areas. Okay.
I do want to say this though, if there weren't those two dedicated women and the board that they have, and they didn't have the desire to make things better, that would make it easier for us to just to say, hey, they don't want it either. But they do want it. And thank you guys for that desire. Thank you for taking the hits, all of it. Thank you.
One more thing before I move on. I think, Sandra, you're going to present to the council next meeting of your budget, right? Okay. They're going to present to the council that was requested by Councilman Bowden, their budget for the 25-26 year. So they're going to present that next month at our council meeting.
Well, I just want to say to you all that went to do this, it's highly appreciated, and just want to say thanks. And I think it's good to do that, to compliment each other when we do things like that for the good, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
Thank y'all. Thank you. Appreciate you all so much.
Thank you. All right. The other item is the further discussion on the health insurance reference to the discontinuance of paying for families. It's presented by Councilman Ray Dewey, but it has to come back because it was tabled, so I would have to get a motion to bring it back.
I want to say this, it wasn't that we were afraid to move forward. We just need something more substantial to move forward. So I am willing to take it off, to put it back on the table, because we do have more options that we're looking into. I would hate for it to come back and we'd have nothing positive to move forward to, if that makes sense. So I'm open to putting it on the table for further discussion.
There's a motion on the floor to take it out of being tabled.
Yes.
Motion on the floor by Councilwoman Perry. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Condon. I'll do a roll call. Councilman Dewey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wenbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Perry?
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes.
Okay. On the presentation of the insurance, the understanding I've stated from the beginning that I didn't believe in a man or a woman getting on a job, coming to a job, and can't provide health insurance for their families. I still feel that way. But looking at the current situation of the city finances, we have to do something. So I'm going to present something to the council that's not going to be voted on tonight, but it's going to be presented, and we're going to work on it and have it prepared for the next meeting, which is our budget meeting as well. But I do want to make it clear to the employees, to the city employees, you're about 6 months out before next open enrollment. Start looking, just in case, for policies for health insurance on your families. Now, again, we're not going to vote on it, but there are some proposals of ways that the city can save money, and we could also reimburse the employee where you wouldn't take such a big hit, that we could help out towards your insurance. And we have 4 different types of ways we can do that. If the city, I don't have the figures for that, but I'm gonna just say the one that looks more attractive, and like I said, the other council members have not seen this yet, because I couldn't bring it to them without untabling it. But right now, I think the city is paying 75% for some employees and 50% for some other employees. The employees, or the families, I'm sorry, the families of the employees. The family of the employees, they're paying 50% for some, and they're paying 75% for some others. I don't know why, but that's the way it is right
Not
now.
on families. You're paying 75% on all employees. You're only paying 50% on families.
There is not, again, like I said, it's okay, we're going to talk about it, but then again, what I'm saying is now, like, say for instance, we're paying 75% on employees right now. We can move to paying 80, 85, 90, or even 100% on the employee, which would still save the city some money and save that employee some money as well, where that employee can use those savings to go and help find coverage for the dependents. Again, it hasn't been
It's just being introduced. by you.
battle, but this is what we're looking at. We're not trying to skin you alive. I really don't believe in, like I said it before, I don't believe in a person having a job and having to come to work and can't provide medical coverage for their families. I don't believe that. So but under the circumstances, we have to do something where we could save the city some money. Now, last year, I think it was 2023, Councilman Bowden and Councilwoman Weinbach went and found a cheaper insurance and better for the employees that saved the city $240,000? Somewhere around $240,000. But it's still not enough, guys. It's just not enough. We have to find funds. So that's, again, not anything up for discussion tonight or for the vote tonight anyway, but the information as we gather it will be presented to the council and the mayor, and council will come around and we're going to try to find the best way to do what we have to do and not mutilate you guys, mutilate the employees with dependents. From what I'm understanding, it's only 5 families. It's 5 families, but still, it's families. So we're gonna do what we can to keep from making you bleed.
If you find something, if you've done research already, or if you know of other companies who might use this certain, bring it to us, because we're only so many people that are looking. If you find another option, we're open to listen to it.
Yes, it's all welcome, but we have to make additional cuts.
For years, the city was paying 95%. For years, the city was paying 95% on all the employees. And over the past few years, we've gotten it down to 75% and 50% on the families. We did communicate with other municipalities, as we said before. The parish itself pays 100% on the family and on the worker. Morgan City pays 100% on the worker and $100 on the family. Okay, Berwick, I think Berwick pays a certain percentage on the workers, and I don't think anything on the family. Frankton, likewise, nothing on the family. Over the past 2-3 years, we did move with another company. We went from paying $800,000 from $800,000 down to between $400,000 to $500,000. So we have cut. We got a better insurance and so forth. We have the flex card, but still, you're looking at. We did move about a month ago to say any future hirees.
Will not be what?
We will not cover the families at all. We will cover the worker. So I'm going to basically ask all of you, I see a lot of our city workers out there that have families, talk with the council members and look at what plan will work best for you. They need to hear from you. They need to hear from you while trying to, because next month we will be moving to working on the budget for next year, for the following year. So in all due fairness, the 5 families need to meet with the council members and look at the options. You know, you don't, as I say, you don't want to be blindsided, and this is what council know. You will have the time to speak with them and so forth. I did hear Councilman Dewey when he said if we would go up 80 on the worker, well then that still puts more, a little bit back in your pocket or go up. I do believe, I did hear a discussion that to go 100% on all the employees. Well, right now we don't have all the employees insured. So I think if you go 100% on all the employees, you're going to go back to right back to square one, because all the employees are not insured with the city. I want to say we like 63 to 68 workers, and probably about 30 or 40 that are on insurance. The others have declined it. But if you go 100%, you defeat the purpose. Okay.
So yeah, if you have something, you might find something that we haven't had the opportunity to look at or research, bring it to us. We're open for discussion.
But the main thing is, we're giving you time. We're not going to drop the bomb on you. But around October, November, open enrollment starts, and we should be ready to make some type of decisions for that time, at that time. So we don't want to drop it on you just like that and you're not prepared. So we just want to open it up for discussion amongst the council, and also for you guys to let you know, you guys to go ahead and start looking for something for your families, and then get with us before next council meeting and see where we can help, but just understand that we do have to cut.
It's been stated a couple times on different platforms and different people coming up to me and such that there's a lack of communication. There isn't. We're here, we're asking you. Come talk to us. Our numbers are public. Talk to us. That's what we're here for. We're here for you.
Can I ask this question? So, are y'all just talking about the percentage of a plan that's already in place?
Yes. Yeah.
So have y'all looked at other plans where y'all set with an agent that can like insure everybody fairly? And
We have not, since we started with the plan that we're currently on. It's something that we could also look into, because we're not going to we won't have to renew until the next open enrollment area. So that is some things that we need to do. But this particular plan that we're on now, we've been on this plan for about a year, a little bit over a year, and that saved us, the city, like I said, about $240,000 just moving from where they were to there. But yes, there are other steps and possibilities that we could do that we haven't done yet, but we just have to.
It just wasn't the savings that is very funny about the current insurance that we have. If you're looking for apples, yes, we can get cheap insurance. But those with existing health issues and so forth, we had to, when we were looking to see, because we're still with Blue Cross Blue Shield, okay? And because we've had it so long, they carried on that policy. So if we go for cheaper and so forth, those that with pre-existing conditions, then are we doing our workers? We're really going to be in a pickle, because you're looking at, and I don't want to violate HIPAA, but you're looking at people with existing illnesses and so forth, that they will really have to now go out and shop for insurance, because we couldn't find apples for apples. Miranda was in a meeting, DeMel was, we sat, Holden was in a meeting, Midge, Angela, we sat there, and we were trying to get apples for apples and to cut down $300,000, and still would allow with pre-existing, because of course, yes, we can get cheaper, but will it be equal to or better?
Well, that was one of the questions. I mean, it's high to go for gold card insurance, health savings, and all that kind of stuff. Take into consideration our payment.
Yeah, we had other agencies that came to make the presentations, and they said we can't beat it because of so many things being grandfathered in. A lot of the insurances today, and it allowed women to only now have annuals every 2 years and so forth, and so many restrictions, whereas there's no limitation.
LMA as well.
Yeah, we looked at all type of, and they said we can't.
And I think the current insurance, even though the city saved on it, I think the current insurance, I think the employees are more pleased with that one than they were with the previous plan that we had. So
they have a flex card.
Yeah,
and the flex card is you swipe it up to $8,500. Then after that, you don't pay anything else. The insurance company picks it up.
Big help.
yeah.
Right now, if you got a medicine that's $500, it's going to show $500 at Walmart, and it's going to swipe all the way down. But then once you get past that $8,500, you don't pay anything else. You don't pay no deductibles for MRIs and things. All is.
Or you could keep the plan and just let them pay 100% of the family things. You don't have to shop around.
Well, that's some things we can talk about. Yeah, that I mean, if they're willing, that's some things that they could do as well, and that like I said, if we pay more on the employee, like they save 5 or 10%, then they can use that towards their dependents. Yeah, that's fine. That's something more that we could talk about. We can I just want to open it up, untable it, so we could discuss it, and also give the employees fair warning that something's going to happen. We don't know what, but something's going to happen. But if we can all work together and we can brainstorm this thing, and the city save money, and the employees and their families are covered, that's good. That's what I like to see.
So item number 1 resolution under new business proclaiming April as Fair Housing Month. This is something that we are required by the feds to do. Resolution proclaiming April as Fair Housing Month, whereas the Federal Fair Housing Act of 1968, as amended, states that no person shall be subjected to discrimination of race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, or national origin in the sale, rental, or advertising of dwellings, in the provisions of brokerage services, or in the availability of residential real estate transactions, including lenders, builders, and homeowners insurance companies. And whereas the state of Louisiana passed the Louisiana Equal Housing Opportunity Act, which allows the Louisiana Attorney General's office to enforce fair housing laws, and whereas the parish of St. Mary desires to promote fair housing practices throughout the community, and in particular regard to those programs providing housing assistance to area residents. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Patterson does hereby proclaim April as Fair Housing Month in order to raise public awareness about the requirements of the Fair Housing Law. Can I get a motion?
Make the motion.
Motion made by Councilwoman Perry. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman Winbach. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Resolution for USDA funding. The funding is for the 1.5 from USDA. Materda is here with the sewer lift stations. That's the 1.5 that we were awarded in 23, and it's just trickling down. And then, so now we got to get into the portal to pull it down, but we have to pass the resolution regarding commitment of funds. Whereas the City of Patterson is allocated 1.5, and this is a grant from Clay Higgins' office, y'all, 1.5 million in fiscal year 2024, community project funding relative to wastewater infrastructure improvements. And whereas the City of Patterson has determined that it is in the best interest of the city to commit a portion of its available funds for sewer lift station upgrade project, and that's 9. And whereas the city has carefully considered the financial implication of such a commitment, now therefore be resolved that the city hereby commits to contribute 25% of the total project cost to be used for the sewer lift station upgrades project. Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Condon. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Perry. I'll do a roll call. Councilman Dewey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Winbach.
Yes.
Councilwoman Perry.
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have Mr. Toy Taylor. Mr. Toy is from Bogalusa, former mayor from Bogalusa. Served, I think 12 years also, was a parish president, police jury president. And for years he worked with Governor John Bell Edwards. He worked at the Capitol. And now he's working with a company that's working with electronic traffic and enforcement. And one of our community neighbors, Baldwin, has the electronic traffic enforcement. So Toy is down in the area and he wanted to come and speak on it, and we met with him about 2-3 weeks ago, and we invited him here to come and discuss it with the council.
Thank you, Mayor. As the mayor indicated, I had the privilege of starting when I was 28 years old as a councilman, and been here in local government ever since. Primarily, last 2 governors got an opportunity and the privilege to work with both of them in intergovernmental affairs, working very closely with our local governments. As the mayor indicated, I'm here tonight on behalf of Meta Traffic. It's a traffic enforcement company that uses technology to, I guess you would say, to hit violators that are speeding. I think about from when I started to where we are today with technology, and I think one of the best technological pieces that we have today are license plate readers that police departments all over our state and country use to help track who may be moving through your community and if there are any warrants out there on them. Speed cameras. As the mayor mentioned, Baldwin has elected to undertake this endeavor. Some other communities that have it, Opelousas. There's many communities in northeast Louisiana, primarily, that have engaged it. If you have a speeding problem, you can be given statistics monthly that will show the speeding is being reduced wherever you're working with that device. It's basically an agreement where our community doesn't put up anything. The company puts up all the equipment. They run the call center. They do the billing, collecting. What our community does have to do is have an officer sign off on the ticket, and you have to have a due process mayor's court of some kind. And it's basically a 60-40 split. The community gets 60% of the revenue and the company keeps 40. Now what I like about this is, unlike the conventional radar where police shoots it, you get that ticket, you know, your insurance is going to probably immediately going to go up on you. If you forget to pay that ticket, there could be a warrant issued for your arrest. And you could be in New York City and bam, they check you and you got a warrant. You go directly to jail. You know, the thing in this program, it's a civil matter. It's not a criminal matter. No insurance. If for some reason you don't pay it, it's not a crime. With that said, the community will get a list of the violators of that month, and most of the time it's set at 10 miles an hour or over. And if they want to move it to a warning, they move it to a warning. When you get that conventional ticket, you don't mess with it. It becomes a crime if you try to do anything with it. So you do get an opportunity to give people second chances. The other thing I like about it is you got to put a big old sign up warning the motorists this is coming up. It's no surprise to them, unlike conventional radar. And I think that's good and fair. Now, any revenue that would be generated under the law has to be dedicated to public safety. Cannot be dumped into your general fund. It's dedicated to public safety at your discretion. I think that's it in a nutshell. I'd be glad to answer any questions that any of you may have this time. As I said, this is a discussion, met with the mayor and the chief and some of the staff to discuss the safety aspect of the program. And as I said, you'll get a monthly printout that'll show you each month your speeders are coming down and down and down, and hopefully you're done. You don't have enough volume to continue the program. That's it in a nutshell. Questions?
Yes, I have a question. How do you say that it'll give a printout to whom, and they can decide whether they want to pursue or not of that ticket?
Yeah, if you get a ticket, your question, if you get a ticket, do you have an opportunity under due process to contest it?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I'm speaking of as far as, let's say for instance, when you get that printout to the city of Patterson, that we go into the police department?
I would think it'd go to the mayor, and the mayor will disseminate as the mayor sees fit as the chief executive.
In the town of Baldwin, it goes to mayor and to the chief of police.
In most of the places, it goes to the chief as well. Particularly where you have an elected chief.
They're elected, Baldwin is, okay? So we have elected. I don't want any parts of it. It would come to me, but then the chief said that he would designate a person in his office that would review it.
Yeah. You know, the program works a little different if you have an appointed chief, but when you have an elected chief, the law is very clear, chief is the chief, and the chief runs that department. And, you know, you don't meddle with that. And got a lot of respect for the chief and his department.
The two identified areas when we met was Red Cypress and Catherine Street. Red Cypress simply because there's no shoulder over there in the highway to speed and so forth. So it was Red Cypress and Catherine Street. There are other areas, and also it involves handheld radars. It also, if they place them out on the highway, then we have to get with DOT. If you place them around in the school zone, then you got to share it with the school. Okay? So the thing was for him to come and discuss it since it was inquired and so forth. Chief is not here tonight, but several officers were, along with the chief, was in the meeting, along with Monica, Holden, myself, Midge, Miranda, it's basically reduced to bring that awareness to the fact we need to reduce the speed. Those were the two areas. Plus, there's south of the rail. But out on the highway, again, if you put it out there, then you got to get with DOT and pass all type of things and so forth. So, but it was just for Todd Taylor to come in and just to discuss it. Chief has asked that to allow him to go to the police chief conference, I think, which is in 2 weeks, and because there are other agencies out there, and so we wanted to see exactly what's what. Yeah. But it was just discussion. It's
okay. I'd just like to close with saying, you know, I think Chief pointed out there was one road in Patterson that conventional radar, they do about 1,000 tickets a year. That ticket's probably going to be $250 to $350 by the time the cut gets to Patterson. It'll be so small, this ticket is generally $150 is what it is. All right, that's it. Any other questions?
I have a question. Who pays for maintenance?
The company. They furnish or take care of the equipment.
So it's a photo?
Yes, sir. It's photo enforced, like the big sign will warn you coming up to a photo enforced.
So who do the citizens have to make a case in regards to a speed ticket if I'm on the route? And my body's down.
Okay. Yeah. Under the law, the state law recognizes that they discussed that thoroughly and debated it, and they decided you own the vehicles or you're going to be responsible. Just like you loaned it to someone and they went out and committed a bank robbery, you know, somebody gave them the vehicle. Same thing here. You can't get the face, is why they had to go that route.
How much of that is caught up in court?
Pardon?
You say it's a civil matter?
It's
so what's
civil.
the percentage of it?
I don't know, ma'am. I know in mayor's court, I can't tell you what it is under the conventional. You know, you're trying to beat a electronic device, and if it's certified, I doubt where you're going to meet it. I would think to some degree, same thing as here, this is technology, but you got to give people the opportunity. There may be some sort of extenuating circumstance or something. The magistrate may choose not to find them guilty, okay? You got to give them due process and the opportunity to go before that magistrate. That the city would have to have that in place.
Against the computer system?
Well, you know, your computer system is there, but if you want to contest it, yes, sir, you get a chance to come in person and talk to a magistrate and present your case, just like you would at the regular court of law.
And how much increase of the speed limit does it's going to raise the price of the speed limit?
It's $150 for this program. The conventional ticket you'd
Regardless of
get.
the speed over the limit?
Yes, sir. It's intended just to slow people down. You won't do is abide by your law. You know, you give them 10 plus miles an hour, and they're still going to blow by oblivious to the world around them. But when the accidents happen, it's your local law enforcement people are going to take care of it.
We had, without naming anyone, Mayor Vappy called me. He says, this is one of your employees, because the name came up on the list, and he did call and he asked, is this one of your employees? Well, we'll issue a warning. and so forth. But as I said, this was brought up, and the presentation came before Chief and some officers along with some of the staff. And if council want to move forward with it and so forth, once Chief comes back in 2 weeks.
All right, appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about this.
By the way, I'm not a speeder. My driver record is been there for 2 weeks through my company, so I'm no speed. I'm just asking questions.
Well, you know, you take that CDL driver, gets that conventional ticket, they're in trouble this way, they're not in trouble, so it's good. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
I know one thing that came up in that, would you use the magistrate in regular court, or would you set up a separate one? But all of those funds will go into a set account for just law enforcement. Okay, for public safety. And for the fire department, it would go in for public safety. So that would be a separate account that would not go into the general fund, okay? That would be a separate account. But again, if they decide they want to use the current magistrate or have a separate court date just for those tickets. And as it was said, most of the time people don't contest them. I mean, some of us have said, yeah, I've gotten several in New Orleans. With the picture, with my face, and with the license plate on my car. Some of you have gotten them too. You're looking around like, oh no, not me. You've gotten them. Just don't get caught up into the scam. Just don't get caught up into the scam that they're sending on the cell phones asking you to pay for a ticket that you never got. Because there's a scam that's going on right now saying that you have to pay for a ticket and you don't, so, okay. All right, Monica. Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
In y'all package, y'all have a paper showing what we amended on the budget. We amended under general fund on the police department, police station maintenance. It was budgeted at $10,000 and we amended it to $27,000 for the plumbing work that was needed to be done. And under utility fund, under the water plant for equipment repairs and maintenance, we were budgeted at $64,000 and we amended to $95,000 for work that was needed to be done to seal the filters. In April, we're going to get together and look at all the line items and do some more amending on everything. And then in May, we'll be presenting the new budget.
Okay. Do we have to make a motion to amend that?
I just want to say, I think this is the best way to do this, simply because it was, you have your budget, but I told him, I said, you need to put that on it because some people say, well, why are you doing it hindsight? Well, when the plumbing issue came up, we didn't have a choice. All we had to do was get the three bids, but it came back at $16,000. And we had to get it taken care of. And with the water plant, that was $28,000 to $30,000, and that's going to save us because they're sealing the filters and the tanks and so forth. So that's going to save us, going to cut back on the backwash and some other things. Okay.
Well, I'll make that motion to amend the budget to accommodate the police departments and also the utility fund.
Motion on the floor to amend the budget for the unforeseen incidental in the police department and maintenance, and also with the sealing of the filters. And it's second by Councilwoman Perry. I'll do a roll call. Councilwoman Winbach?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Condon?
Yes.
Councilman Dewey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Perry?
Yes.
Okay. We've had two individuals to pass. We've had several in the area. We've had several. But two resolutions, one out of respect for Mr. Hilliard Smith. Mr. Hilliard Smith was a lifetime barber here in Patterson. He had rental property, but most importantly, he served, he gave of his time. He served in the military, but he also gave of his time for years serving on the Public Housing Authority Board with Mr. McMurray, also serving with Mr. Tim McCann with the Planning and Zoning. So it is with, we have, it'd be best interest of us to pass a resolution of respect for someone who gave of his service, dedicated, always on time. Okay? Hilliard Smith Jr., April 27, 1932 to February 14, 2025. Whereas Hilliard Smith Jr., age 92, of Patterson, Louisiana, passed away on Friday, February 14, 2025. Mr. Smith was a veteran of the United States Navy, serving in the Korean War. Whereas Hilliard was preceded in death by his wife and his parents and daughters and siblings. He was laid to rest at Ibis Cemetery in Patterson, Louisiana. Now therefore be resolved that the mayor and council of the city of Patterson do at this moment express their deepest sympathy and condolences to the family of Mr. Hilliard Smith Jr. If I can get this approved, we can give a copy to the family and we will post a copy in the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Councilwoman Perry.
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Dewey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The other one is in respect of Ms. Cora Jennings, who happens to be the aunt of Councilman Dewey, Officer Dewey, Chamblers, and also one of our city workers, Mr. Jordan, and another one of our city workers. So a resolution of respect for Ms. Cora Jennings, age 86, a native and resident of Patterson, Louisiana, transitioned peacefully on Tuesday, February 18, 2025, at her residence, surrounded by her family. She was preceded in death by her husband, her parents, and her children and siblings, whereas Ms. Cora Jennings was laid to rest in the New Salem Cemetery. Now, therefore, be resolved that the mayor and council of the city of Patterson do at this moment express their deepest sympathy and condolences to the family of Ms. Cora Jennings. Can I get a motion?
I made that motion.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Condon. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Winbach. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Announcements. Anything from the chief? Okay. Holden?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
After a year of hiatus, the Economic and Community Development Department is back. We have a lot of things we're working on in the pipeline. The first thing I'd like to announce is April 12th is the day City of Patterson will recognize Love the Boot Week for Louisiana. It's going to be twofold because on that day we're going to serve as cleanup and beautification for the City of Patterson. But also April is Autism Awareness Month. So before we do the cleanup, we're going to do a walk around the Patterson Community Center, which is where we're going to start at. Just one walk around to show solidarity for those who have autism, to let them and their families know that just because you process things different or look at things different, it doesn't make you any less than anybody else. So that will be a twofold day recognizing autism awareness and a beautification day for the city of Patterson. On May 3rd, our color run is coming back. We took a year off last year, but our color run will be May 3rd. It'll be at 8 a.m. Registration is going to go live on our Facebook page and on our website. At the end of this week, registration will be $30, and as usual, it's just a way for us all to get together, have a fun time with the city of Patterson. Also, this Friday, if you are a woman entrepreneur that has a business located in the city of Patterson, or if you are a woman entrepreneur living in the city of Patterson, or if you know somebody you'd like to nominate, we're doing something special in honor of Women's History Month. So please, that will go live on our pages as well. We're going to recognize them for their work and giving back to the community through entrepreneurship. And finally, on behalf of the City of Patterson, Mayor Grogan, our Mayor Pro Tem Lee Kondo, the rest of our council and myself, we want to thank the National League of Cities for selecting us to be in the Southern Cities Economic Inclusion. As you all know, 15 cities were selected, only 3 from Louisiana. Patterson was one. They had over 85 participants. Me and Ms. Lee spent the last 2 years flying back and forth to Atlanta. They gave us 3 grants, but now that program has concluded and we go into the alumni section because they're starting a new program with new cities. So we want to thank them for believing in us. And so that program concludes. However, out of the 85 participants, they decide to select the top 3 participants from that cohort and offer them a position on their faculty. So I was selected as one of those 3 participants. So I'll be a faculty member with National League of Cities. So I have accepted the position, but I'm not leaving here, not yet. But for me, accepting the position, the city of Patterson now becomes a model city. So how that works is that because we've shown exemplary work in economic resilience, the city is going to be used as a model for the new cities coming in. And because I've accepted the position, the city will receive an additional grant for economic resilience in the amount of $15,000. So that's some of the work we've been doing. So National League of Cities will be trying to come here, do more things, and we've been awarded $15,000, and hopefully, if the funding goes right, we'll be awarded more. So thank y'all for y'all support. We appreciate it.
Before Holden takes a seat, Holden is serving with Brady. We got 2 Pattersonians. Brady Burrell is the president, the chairman of the chamber, St. Mary Chamber, and Holden is the co-chair, second vice. Okay, and 2 Pattersonians, and so this is Brady's year, and the Lord spares. Next year, Holden moves up, and so your start here with economic development and so forth has basically proven itself, and you've gotten involved representing Patterson, so we want to thank you very much.
And thank y'all for y'all support. Appreciate it.
All right, we have our engineer, Mater.
Good afternoon. My name is Martada Musa. I'm a civil engineer with Providence Engineering. I'm here to talk about mainly 3 things. First one would be the 9 sewer lift stations project. This project is just going well, I believe. We've added 2 more lift stations. They operate now with small issues. We've contacted a vendor to come and look at some pulleys and all that. But I think the project is going well. I think pay app number 7 that was submitted to the mayor. You've signed it. We've requested the reimbursement from FPNC, and I understood on Friday that you still haven't been reimbursed. Okay, so bear with them. I think everyone is just double checking everything right now. That's number 1. Number 2, the USDA money. Thank you for the resolution. We needed that 25% commitment. We met with USDA, I think last week or the week before. They requested the preliminary engineering report to be revised. We've done so. And then with this resolution, I think we are ready to submit everything that they needed from us probably this week. Third thing is the natural gas line project. We got approved for $1.3 something million to replace the main of the natural gas that goes through the city. I think the grantors requested some environmental assessment documents, which we've submitted, and we're still just waiting for them to approve that before they grant us the money. That's everything I have, unless you guys have any questions.
So you have the 1.5 from the federal government, and you have the 2.3 from the state.
2.4 something.
2.4.
Yeah.
The 9 lift stations are working, the ones that they have up and running. They're working real well, except we've had some little issues. But,
Just, yeah, small. I mean, they operate, but they're just pulling some amperage. So I think the vendor who is Delta Processes is aware of the problem. And they're just going to come and replace some of the pulleys to where they reduce some of the speed of the pumps, basically. And I'm gonna schedule like an on-site visit that day. I want to be here when they replace them and when they test them, basically. And then we're going to do the run-up again and see if they operate as designed. I mean, in terms of capacity, I think they're doing okay. It's just the amperage that worries me.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Steve?
Yes, Mayor. I just wanted to say Matana covered most everything with the sewer pumps, and really with a big project like that, you're going to have some hiccups. And we have a few hiccups. But those pumps pump like all crazy. They pump, one pump pumps better than 2 of the previous pumps that we used to have. But we have a few little issues. We're going to work through them. It's no problem. Tonight I wanted to recognize a couple of my supervisors. As you know, about 4 weeks ago, I don't know if you knew or not, but we lost our emergency generator between the police department and City Hall. The engine, the lower part of the engine, some bearings through, and the engine froze up. And we have a generator that's relatively new in the water plant, a smaller generator which is better suited for this building. And for the past 3 weeks, one of my supervisors, Terry Space, and his crew have been working diligently on moving that generator and making it fit in the same housing, using the same fuel tanks and so forth and so on. And I'm proud to say, I think, Terry, we've got everything hooked up. We're almost ready for a test run. I just wanted to thank Terry and his crew tonight for the work that they've done, as they have saved us probably about $65,000. So thank you, Terry. On another note, as you know, our previous supervisor in wastewater and water left us, and Mr. Virgil Walton, our supervisor, has stepped up to the plate and is taking over our water and wastewater and so forth and so on. And I wanted to commend Virgil for doing the job that he's been doing for the last 3 weeks on catching up on a lot of things around town. So, I mean, we've been working together real well. We speak almost every day, and he's been getting the job done. And I want to say thank you. Other than that, if anybody has any questions, I'm good.
I want to commend Sharon, who stepped in when we lost the other gentleman. Sharon supervises, she assists with you and with Virgil with her certification and everything with that department. So Sharon, not just the water plant, but also meeting on a daily basis and meeting with Virgil and his group to make sure that things are taken care of around the city. So thank you so very much. Okay. All right. Any other?
I just have a question for Ms. Sharon. Just if you can update us on the status of the filters.
Yes.
How's that coming? Has it started and whatever?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
We have 90 linear feet to seal. As of this afternoon, we have sealed 35 feet. We have 55 feet left to go. We take one filter down at a time for them to do it. It works with the filter offline. And it was a challenge, but they're getting it. They brought in a couple more guys, so instead of 2 guys doing the job of 90 feet, we have about 5 guys there. And they are working, doing about 18 feet a day. So we're starting tomorrow on filter B. A is just about finished. We got about 10 feet left on that, on A on B. A will be the one to start tomorrow, but we got about 10 feet left on B, but they're gonna do that as they work on A. So by the end of the week, we should have them all sealed, and back online, and we're kicking.
It seems to be
Oh, it's
what you
working.
needed.
It's working.
Good.
Yes. Thank you,
Money well
guys.
spent.
Good news.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, one thing I see in the legal matter, I'm not really sure, and I don't know what's going on with our current, counsel, Mr. Russell. But is there any way we can get someone in here with us during these meetings for legal matters or to lead us in
Mr.
the
Russell
legal?
is on top of everything that we get, we send to him and so forth.
Russell does keep in touch with me. Your
And
email.
if we needed him to get, but I'd rather not discuss.
I understand, yeah. I understand.
But we do send all paperwork and everything to Mr. Russell, and everything, that, just for the physical presence and so forth. Last time he tells us who to come in, so maybe we want to ask him, for somebody to come sit in for him and so forth. But any others? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Condon. Can I get a second? Second by Councilwoman Winbach. All in favor? Any opposed? You on last month's agenda.